What's going on, everybody? It's the Indoor Hunter, and today we're going to be talking about SUNDARPATAN. At the time of this recording, I've got about 15 hours invested into the map, and some of you may say, I don't know, that doesn't sound like very long, but I mean, that's longer than the average length of a Call of Duty campaign, so I feel like I've got a decent grasp for the most part of the map. Now, obviously, there's some nuance to that, and at a later time, we can change our date, so my preliminary reactions here are I've got both good things and bad things to say. I'm completely unbiased. I intentionally went into the release of this map unbiased. I knew nothing outside of what species were on the map. That was it. Knew nothing else. I didn't watch anyone else's streams very intentionally, just so I could just unbiased approach. Don't sell me on it. I want to sell myself on it. And here we are. And I gotta say, I like it overall. However, we are going to talk about the good, the bad, and some of the ugly of SUNDARPATAN. Starting with the good first, let's talk about tigers first and foremost. It's obviously the selling point of the map, and let me tell you folks, it honestly makes the map worth it. Just them alone. The experiences that I've had with tigers so far in just 15 hours is incredible. It's different every time. I will say I was a little hesitant at first because, you know, I actually had experience with running into tigers as they were drinking, and they seemed a little more tame. I'm like, I don't know, these guys aren't that scary, but let me tell you folks, this is the most terrifying experience I've had in a video game. I played a lot of them, especially ones that are meant to be scary. And just watch this clip, ladies and gentlemen. And that's the experience with tigers. Absolutely incredible experience. You know, these things are hunting you at all times, and sometimes you hear them, and, well, like in this case, sometimes you don't. Definitely hands down, just for that experience alone, I think it's worth the buy. But let's continue. I just want to say, overall, they did an outstanding job at just the design of the map. It's beyond gorgeous. It's a beautiful, beautiful map. Just graphically, overall, it's very visually stunning. I'm impressed. There's a lot of little teeny tiny details that a lot of the other maps in the past just didn't get. And I used to always talk about how Leighton Lakes and Hirschfelden were so detailed compared to some of the following DLC. And they brought that type of detail back to this game. Oh my goodness. That is an albino water buffalo. Pause the video, we gotta go shoot this guy. That might have been a little far back. Got around into him at least. Okay, so apparently one shot from the 300 will kill a water buffalo, because just happened to notice this guy floating. Glad we realized that. We would have been tracking this dude forever, but look at that. Brand new model, level 5 albino male. Let's get this guy taxidermied before we end up dying. I think we just did get smoked by a water buffalo there, but look at that new model. Absolutely incredible. But it's not going to change our, oh. Anyway, back to the video here, continuing on with the good there. I mean, that was part of it. That's actually our first rare in 15 hours that we've gotten on SUNDARPATAN, so pretty excited about it. But let's get back to it here. Like we were saying, the map is beautiful, looks great, visually stunning. The species are unique. I actually really enjoy the species list. I really didn't know at first if I was going to enjoy it or not, and I'm having a good time looking for these guys. The tar are cool. The blue sheep are really cool. One of my favorites to hunt. The yacker might be one of my new favorite things to hunt in the game now, just because they're so big and dangerous. And speaking of dangerous, of course, the tigers are amazing. But does that make the map good? Let's not forget this new weapon, which might actually be my new favorite as of right now. I don't know if they're going to nerf this thing or what they're going to do. I've seen a lot of people complain about it's not a class 9 gun, and that is kind of a complaint. But dude, this gun, I'm telling you folks, honestly, the map, if you can get proficient with it, this gun might be worth the map. It's so powerful. It's insane how strong this gun is. But this video is not about that. It's about SUNDARPATAN as a whole. And again, that does definitely add a lot to it. Love the species list. The gray lag, I wish we could have gotten something a little different, but it is what it is. Species list is great. Love hunting it around. But let's talk about the bad here. And it's not like I hate this map, I'm not going to play it. Because like I said before at the very beginning of the video, this map overall is good. This is a good map. It's worth the money, in my opinion. I guess you could just shut the video off here. But again, in my opinion, like some of it that I'm a little, it's either lacking or I'm disappointed in. Let's go up here to the mountains. Maybe just this random tent on a road here. Again, mountains are hard to navigate. I understand that. But there's some spots here that are lacking, in my opinion, that at least for the newer hardware, newer generation hardware, they should make some allowances, you know, on PC. Like, let's bump up render distance to 500 meters, if possible. Because it's so disappointing on these beautiful mountaintops and ridges, looking out and knowing I can't even tell what's at the end of this ridge line because it doesn't render in. It's just right there. So that's, you know, not a huge thing, but it does take away from the absolute amazing layout of the map. I mean, this is great mountainous terrain. I mean, look how beautiful that is. And that's part of the map. We can go over there and walk that valley if we want. That's not some far away rendered in mountain. You know what I mean? That's walkable, that's traversable. We can get up there if we want to. But again, the problem is that render distance kind of kills us. Kind of disappointed by that. Again, I'm not exactly sure what you do to combat it, but not a big complaint, and I kind of knew this going into it because of where the map was located, but it is incredibly thick. There are some open areas, I'll give you that. But I would say that 90% of the map is, well, worse than this once you get down here in these valleys. But here's another problem with this map. I mean, look at the distance here. We're 500 meters from this lake. 800 meters from here. We're kilometers away from outposts. And we're having to walk through insane terrain. We need a vehicle, I think, for this map to help traverse it. Maybe even like mules or horses, something. Donkeys. I guess I said mules. But it's a little tricky and it's a little daunting. And maybe because my playstyle is run gun, I feel really bogged down and slowed down by the travel time in this. Because even with, you know, like all these outposts unlocked, for example, we'll go over here. Now we're at this outpost. This lake here is over a kilometer away. We could drop on an ATV and drive on over there, right? Well, no, actually. Unless we stuck to roads, but as you can see, there are no roads leading to this lake that we want to go to. So now we're going to have to traverse this terrain uphill through all of this. Not exactly an easy task to do, and once you actually start getting these mountains, you can't traverse it at all. So we definitely need something, a better way to traverse around the mountains. Like, and I'm not bashing the mountains. I love it. I actually really enjoy this. One of my favorite areas to hunt. It's just very, very difficult. Because now that we're up here in this little clear spot, we've already spooked everything because we just spent the last 30 minutes jumping to try to get upside the mountain. And it's frustrating because this is where the tar are. This is where the blue sheep are. This is where yaks are. There's a lot of really good animals in these mountains. And it's just not... It's not it. Now, obviously down here to the south, definitely by far my. It's more familiar to me. It seems more like Parque Fernando. But what's kind of cool about this map, we're kind of going back to the good here. Like there are regions of this map where I swear I'm in Leighton Lakes, and there's regions of this map where I'm like, is this Reventuli Coast? Regions of the map where I'm like, this is giving me Virunga. Like it's almost like all the maps combined. So that's kind of cool. That goes into the good portion. We forgot to mention earlier, but again, the traversal of where these outposts are and where these lakes are. I mean, that's 600 meters just to there. And sure, we've got tents and stuff, but it's just a really big map with a lot of terrain. I don't know, that's probably my biggest complaint. I mean, yes, it's thick and gross, but there's open areas like this that you can kind of use to your advantage. I really do think this map promotes more of a traditional, maybe hunting style. To where we change time to their feed times maybe and see if there's anything out in the open here instead of looking for waterways, because the waterways are pretty hard to get to, folks, especially up here in these mountains. But like I said, all in all, I think it's pretty good. We still have a lot to explore. You can see these mountain ranges haven't been explored at all. But I've been looking for leopards, so I've been over every single nook and cranny, it seems like, over here, and it's just... It can be exhausting doing some exploring, but the southern region is definitely the easier access, especially along the river. There's water buffalo everywhere. If you want to get murked out real quick, go down here to this river, change it to water buffalo time, and you're gonna get stomped out. Lions run around all through up in here. I mean, again, the experience of the map is excellent. I love it. I love the atmosphere too. Can't say it enough. The background music or the sound effects on this map are top notch. I mean, I don't know how many times I've had to look around because I'd hear a bird or a twig snap somewhere. And I'm like, is that real life? You know, it was good. They're good. So kudos to them on that. Again, overall, great map. I wish it was a little bit easier to traverse. But I can't wait to keep playing, see what we can keep finding. There is a new great one. But again, it's hard to find stuff, and I don't know, I'm enjoying exploring it at my own pace too. I'm not trying to get in there and just get all the trophies as fast as I can. As a matter of fact, you know, during this 15 hours, the amount of animals that we see is fairly low. I know we did get kind of crazy lucky on this video when we came across that albino, but this is kind of the realistic experience here of what you see is kind of what you get. There's a lot of big spaces, at least I've found, where there's just nothing around. Could be time of day. Again, I haven't quite figured out, even after 15 hours, the flow of this map. You know, Silver Ridge Peaks, I know exactly where I'm going to start, where I'm going to run, and how I'm going to end up. You know what I mean? I just know that map enough. This map, it's brand new. We're still learning it, and over time, we'll probably grow to like a little bit more, but it's not bad either. I would actually, honestly, much prefer to play this than Emerald Coast. So, Neil guy there, but yeah, let me know if you guys have the map or if you've played it, what you guys think in the comments below. Obviously, you're going to expect some future content with this map.